Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports Talk, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your hosts, TJ and Jared. And in today's video, we'll be going over this game recap of the Ravens versus Bengals. And, honestly, this game surprised me a lot, because we're coming into this game very, very short-handed. We don't have Tyler Linderbaum. We don't have Ronnie Stanley. We don't have Marcus Williams. We don't have Marlon Humphrey, and we lost
JK.
OBJ in this game,
Mhm.
and we still came in and we dominated.
Mhm.
The first quarter, first half wasn't really how we expected offense wise, especially with Lamar passing. But after halftime, we really put it to them, and Lamar's stats in this game, he was 24 of 33. 237 passing yards, two passing touchdowns, zero picks. He had 12 rushes for 54 yards. Gus Edwards had 10 rushes for 62 yards, averaged 6.2 yards per carry. Justice Hill had 11 rushes for 41 yards, 3.7 yards per carry. In receiving, Nelson Aguilar was the leading receiver in this game. He had five receptions for 63 yards, one touchdown. Zay Flowers had four receptions, and I think his highlight is the beautiful deep pass that Lamar threw to him in double coverage. It was amazing throw and catch. Zay Flowers had four receptions, 62 yards. Mark Andrews, was up to his usual tricks, had five receptions, 45 yards, one touchdown. Odell Beckham, he got. I would just say this. I don't know if the Bengals had a hit out on Odell Beckham or whatever, but it was disgusting the amount of hits that he took in that game. Some of those hits were just plain out dirty. And I'm
Yeah, they're
talking
just
about
gonna.
you. I'm talking about you, Logan Wilson, and I think it was Taylor Britt who kind of cranked his neck on that one play. It was just highly unacceptable and dirty, what they were doing to OBJ. But he got taken off the game early. He had only three catches for 29 yards. Rashad Bateman had three catches for 18 yards. Justice Hill had three catches as well for 12 yards. And Isaiah Likely only had one catch for 8 yards. Um, you know, this game, it really could have been 30. I feel like this game score really should have been 30-17 because we
Um,
also got to remember Justin Tucker did miss that field goal, but this game was just very, very dominant, by the offense. We the running attack was going well. Lamar was able to, dissect them in his passing in a passing system that was comfortable for him. Got my words mixed up there. And the Bengals just didn't seem to have any answers for us. You know, we were just we were able to get the key first downs that we needed, able to keep the ball out of their hands. I think our time of possession was like about 10 minutes higher than theirs. I mean, we were just having 13 play, 70-yard drives that took up like 9 minutes. So when it came to the possession battle, we dominated. And I was very proud of that. That's one thing last year that you know, we could never do is keep the ball, from Cincinnati. And obviously, we didn't have our starters, but it was just very good for us to, get on the right footing in this game. So I'll turn it to you if you want to talk about the defense, or anything else.
yeah, I think the offense still has some kinks to work out, but I think they look vastly improved and then they looked in week one. The pass protection was very good. I think the run blocking offered up more holes than it did last week. I mean, that's just kind of a notion of what Gus Edwards is. He's always falling forward, like how you say. But yeah, I did not like. It seems like it's the next bounty gate for me. Like on OBJ. I
Yeah.
don't know what that was about. Just a lot of unnecessary plays. The one play should have been unnecessary roughness, and a lot of copium from fans on Twitter. What you say that one tweet said?
Oh, Joe Burrow was on one leg and almost still won the game.
Yeah,
Just things like
like
that.
like what? Like
Yeah.
you did? Isn't that kind of that? I think the only thing that a player has won on one leg was Mahomes last year.
Yeah.
Like that was the only like thing I can think about with one leg, and he didn't almost win this game. Like he was nowhere near to being almost to win this game, and in fact he gave us the game. It feels like more than he won it for tried to win it for them.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess going on defensive stats, the defense played way better than I thought they would. I did not expect us to win this game and have this kind of defensive performance. Our leading tacklers, Geno Stoney, has 9 total tackles. Seven of them are solo. He has a pass breakup, and he also has an interception, if I'm not mistaken. Patrick Queen has 8 tackles. 5 of them are solo. He has one QB hit. Roquan Smith, not his best game, but I mean, he can't always be amazing. Five total tackles, 3 of them are solo. Our Darius Washington, 5 total tackles, 3 of them are solo. He also has a pass deflection and a QB hit. Jadeveon Clowney he actually had a pretty good game today. I was really impressed with him. He has 4 total tackles, 3 of them are solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, a pass deflection, and 2 QB hits. Travis Jones gets there a little bit. He gets 4 hits, four tackles, 3 of them are solo. Kyle Hamilton gets 4 tackles, 3 of them are solo as well. Brandon Stevens doesn't have a tackling performance like he did last week, but he has 4 total and two of them are solo. And that's kind of all the guys I wanted to bring up. Like the guys, I think the biggest. Oh, and also I want to mention Rocky Sin's fantastic play on Jamar Chase.
Oh yeah.
In the
Oh,
end
yeah.
zone that saved a touchdown. He slammed him on the ground and had a pass breakup. It was a beautiful play from Rocky Sin, and I'd like to see that. And the Ravens played fast today. I kind of said this last week, but it was true today. They played fast and they played physical. And Mike McDonald has really had some really good game plans for the Burrows and the Bengals air raid offense. Well, I don't know if it's really air raid. It's more like bubble raid, but you know,
Check down.
check down raid. But they didn't like it wasn't a big explosive play. I think T Higgins had a good game. He had 2 touchdowns, I believe, and Jamar Chase didn't really do nothing today.
Mhm.
Irv Smith Jr., I think that's his name, didn't really have that good of a game for the Bengals either. Um, and I think like Kyle Hamilton made like this great tackle on him on 3rd down. It was like a shoestring tackle, and he would have been running for days if he didn't. So there was a lot of clutch plays to the defense, and then the goal line interception where Geno Stone just baited Burrow into throwing that. He left him open on purpose, just snagging and Ed Reed that type. Ed Reed that is what I called it. And he could have. I don't know why he didn't take it for 6. He had a lot of open space. I think he could have taken it for 6, but he said he was gassed. He said he was tired. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The defense was on the field a lot. In the second half, but honestly, the most important thing for me in this game was Lamar. He looked much better this week. There wasn't costly turnovers. He almost had one with the fumble, but luckily it was called back. So, and I think he held on to the ball way better the rest of the game. But, the responses was important for me. Last season and years prior, it felt like the Orioles, the Ravens beat up by a few scores. They let them back into the game, and the Ravens just wouldn't answer back. But this
Yeah.
game, the crowd was raucous. It was rocking in Cincinnati. It was a home opener. It was almost like a sellout. People were getting loud. It was 20 to 17, I believe. And we needed to answer in a big way. And Lamar hits a beautiful over the throw shoulder catch to Nelson Aguilar, who had a very underrated game today, a very underrated signing by Eric DaCosta, and it showed it today. And it was just this next man up mentality. You know, Big kudos to Patrick Bakari and Sam Mustipher. I believe that's his name. For great games today. They played great games today. And that's not an easy defensive front for the Bengals to defend. So I was really proud of those two for stepping in on an All Pro and future All Pro, in my opinion. Tyler
Yeah.
Linderbaum's a future All Pro and definitely a Hall of Famer at the end of his career. He's played really good in his early career so far, and I want him to be a Raven for life. I really want him to be a Raven for life because he's a really good center. But Sam Mustipher and Patrick McCarry stepped in huge, huge roles in a divisional game, and I mean we needed to win this game. You kind of take the pressure off your back. When you play them again, but it's going to be at home, so it's going to be a primetime game. So I'm excited for that. But you know, and like you said, the beautiful play to Zay Flowers in the game, that beautiful throw. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a dime by Lamar and a great catch by Zay to make the adjustment to catch it. He caught it like on his helmet, you know. But that's kind of my analysis of the offense and the defense.
And just another, very underrated player to point out is Nelson Aguilar. I mean, when you talk about the Ravens offense, you think of Mark Andrews, you think of Zay, you think of OBJ, but Nelson has really been doing his thing, man. He had great catches in the first game, and he had a touchdown in this one, like I mentioned earlier. And he's really quietly building, him and Lamar are really quietly building a connection, that I think, can be, bigger and deeper as the season goes on. So it's funny because, everybody was kind of, not really taking, his signing seriously in the offseason, but he's really, kind of made a name for himself in the offense so far, you
Mhm,
know, and one thing that I kept thinking to myself, this entire game is, what would that rushing attack be like if we added Jonathan Taylor? And I just feel like, this offense will be 10 times better if we just added a guy with his caliber, put him in our running system. This offense would be dynamic with with the weapons that we have right now. And I can only imagine the holes that would open up for Lamar when it comes, even if he wants to do a check down, to JT, just something to have to sort of be a 1-2 punch to Gus Edwards. I feel like that would be that's all I could think about in this game. So this was a great game, a great road win. Honestly, a game, like how me and you both said, I didn't expect us to win, but we got the job done. We're going against the Colts next week. I'm not trying to, be rude or blunt or anything. I expect
mhm,
us to win that game. So,
mhm.
did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I wanted to mention. I had asked you before the game. We want to have a little seg. I called it. I saw the segment TJ's keys to the game.
Oh yeah,
I guess we could. Whether you. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I think it's
that
cool.
was cool.
But your keys to the game were secondary bend don't break, pound the rock, give Zay chances to actually get open and not just in screens. Um, D line needs to create pressure and wild. That was your biggest key to the game. And you said and be wild. Get Mark Andrews involved early. And those were your keys to the game. That's kind of what I agreed with. And I guess we're gonna go by each of them, and how you feel, how we did in this game. So secondary bend don't break.
Secondary bend don't break. I feel like
That's
we
kind of
did
literally how
exactly
they
that.
right.
I feel like we did exactly that. I mean, we did allow 2 touchdowns to T. Higgins, but you know, Jamar Chase, we held him locked down. He didn't really do anything. Even those checkdowns to Mixon that Burrow did, those screens that he tried to do to Tyler Boyd, no one really did anything besides T. Higgins. And to be honest, when you have T. Higgins, you have Jamar Chase, you have Tyler Boyd. I mean, it's a given that at least one of them is going to do something. So we didn't break. We bent to Higgins, but we didn't break. So I feel like we
Mm-hmm.
did do that. Um, and the second
Pound the rock.
down the rock, you know, we had a sort of running back by committee, game. We pounded the rock with Gus Edwards, we pounded the rock with Hill, and Lamar had some runs too, but Gus bust, man. He got that game winning first down. He never falls backwards. He always falls forward, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just a very violent and physical runner. I could tell the Bengals players were kind of scared, to tackle him, and so I feel like we did that. It was sort of more of a balanced game. We did have a lot of passing opportunities. Lamar had 33 attempts passing, so kind of was a bit towards more of the passing side, but we still did get some good volume out of pounding the rock in this game.
Your third was give Zay chances to actually get out and open and not just in screens.
Um, you know, Obviously, Zay's biggest play was that deep pass, to that Lamar threw in double coverage. Um, I think we didn't really do that too much because he only did have 4 receptions, but I feel like that's a glimpse of what Zay can do if we allow him to have more plays like that. I mean, because that was kind of a contested catch, and he still made it over guys that were a little bit taller than him.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't necessarily say, we did that key to the game, but that we had seen a glimpse of what it could be in the future if we explore the option more.
D line needs to create pressure and be wild.
This is something that we didn't do. Well, it just seemed like we just could not sack Burrow. I mean,
Mm,
I'll be honest. There was times where we were about to, but the guys just seemed too slow to get to him,
mm,
and he was always able to get the ball off, always able to throw it out of bounds. So,
right.
I will say we kind of we did pressure him a little bit. We did, push him to the ground once, but we
Many
couldn't get
times.
those sacks. Yeah, yeah, many times, but we couldn't get those sacks like how we wanted. So,
I think it's more of attributed to how fast they were getting the ball out. I mean, we know
yeah,
he's a checked out merchant, so it's like,
yeah,
it's so hard to sack a guy who gets the ball out because the ball's already out to Jamar Chase, who's at the line of scrimmage.
yeah.
So, and your last one was get Mark Andrews involved early.
Um, you know, I feel like we did do this to the best of our abilities. We did get Mark Andrews. He did have a touchdown in this game. So he was very involved, and helped us get that win and get a score. So I say that, I'll give it to us. We did do that, to the
All
best
right.
of our abilities.
Well, I think I fully agree with everything you said. That's kind of all I got for this Ravens versus Bengals thing, unless you want to bring up something else.
I mean, that's kind of all I had too. This is a great team win, one where we really spread the ball out. That's the one thing that, I was very proud of. We spread the ball out. Everybody got a chance to make a play. And, everybody did make a play. This is one of the last things I'll note. And I saw on Twitter a person was, criticizing Devin Duvernay acting hesitant to return punts, after being one of the best, punt returners, in the league these past couple of years. And honestly, I agree. I want to see him be more aggressive, when it comes to those punt returns. I want to see him rip off those runs like how he was doing a couple of seasons ago, or like how he did against the Chiefs, in 2020. So, that's just something I hope to look out more for. I do recall that one punt return. He did try to return it. He couldn't get much out of it, but that's the final piece I have to add.
Right. You
Well,
finish it out.
yeah, well, that's our recap of the Ravens and Bengals. We won the game 27-24. We improved to 2-0. I believe we're atop the AFC North Division.
Hmm,
Next week is a home game against the Colts. We're getting that Lamar Anthony Richards, duel. Hopefully we come out on top. I think we will. We will be filming a pre video for my mind is
Pre-game.
fried right now. A pre-game video to that game. And just stay tuned for that. Make sure you check out our TikTok and our Twitter. We do post live game updates on there. We have a little fun with it. Also make sure to check out our second channel, Casual Cinema. We will be releasing some videos on there, some flash videos. We will be seeing Aquaman when it comes out. We have a lot of movies that we're going to review on there. That channel is not dead. And just comment, like, subscribe, follow us any way you can. We're grinding. So we're Birds of Prey, we're TJ and Jared, and we're out.
Wow.